One of Scotland's most important historical documents goes on display in Edinburgh tomorrow for the first time in almost 2 decades. The 700-year-old Declaration of Arbroath was an appeal to the Pope asking him to recognise Robert the Bruce as the lawful King of Scotland and asserting the country's independence. Our Scotland correspondent Lorna Gordon has had access to some of the preparations for it going on public view.
The historic 700-year-old Declaration of Arbroath, a fragile parchment written during a turbulent and violent period in Scotland's story, about to go on rare public display.
Immensely excited to be welcoming this document here. It's a really rare and special survival, and it gives us an insight into medieval international diplomacy, but also about a pivotal point in Scotland's King Robert I, also known as Robert the Bruce, perhaps his most famous king.
Yes, this one here, it's got a former repair along the top.
In a temperature and humidity controlled room, conservators closely checked the document, recording any historical damage ahead of the complex process of moving it to its display.
Just around there, which says, while 100 of us remain alive, and then never will we be subject to the King of England.
The passing of time has left its mark, but the 14th century letter written in Latin asking the Pope to recognise Robert the Bruce as Scotland's king is still clear to see.
It's an extraordinary text. I mean, it's not a long text, it's maybe around about 1,000 words, but it encapsulates an awful lot about what the Scots thought about themselves as a nation in 1320 and their right to be an independent kingdom, not subject to the English king.
You can see the damage to the tag where we've lost the bottom of the tag.
Only 19 of the seals of Scotland's most powerful nobles who backed the letter remain in place. The job for those entrusted with caring and preserving the declaration for future generations is to slow down any further degradation.
Well, it's not the only 14th century document that we hold, but it's certainly the most famous, I would say. And a public record is something that you can't just keep when nobody sees it. There is an interest, and quite rightly, we have to make that possible.
Do you feel nervous when this leaves the archives?
Yes, we like it to be back sleeping in its bed, in the store secure.
The document, interpreted by some as claiming Scotland's independence, is a precious piece of history. Words now centuries old, on a theme that still grips this nation today. Lorna Gordon, BBC News, Edinburgh.